We love to bring you pundit voices on Top Line, and here's one voice and one face that you may be a little bit familiar with from last year's campaign. Take a look.
He's a senior fellow at the Harding Institute for Freedom and Democracy, works alongside of John McCain's presidential campaign, and you're a blogger.
Yes.
Now, I read that you're the one who spurred Paris on, and maybe the entire Hilton family to react to the McCain ad.
These people involved in the Hilton brand give tremendous money to McCain.
All right, our next guests are two men who are actually one man, and that one man technically doesn't exist. And we want to welcome here to Top Line Dan Mervish and Eitan Gorlin, who are the co-authors of the brand new book, I Am Martin Eisenstadt, and you indeed are Marty Eisenstadt, former McCain campaign advisor, Harding Institute senior fellow. I think I have the relevant points of the biography right, and big-time hoaxer. Didn't exist. So the first question is, guys, no shortage of pundits in this town that pretend to know what they're talking about. Why do we need a pretend pundit?
Because why do we need to pretend pundit?
Well, that was kind of the point.
Right, that's exactly the point that you're making, is that they're all pretend anyway.
That's what we were trying to say. I mean, we initially, we started this as a different character, and we did a whole string of fake Giuliani ads. And when Giuliani lost, that character morphed into Marty. He sort of got a job and grew a beard. And the idea initially was to create a fake McCain advisor and then create a fake scandal around him because they were dropping like flies. And that was one of the first things we did, which was the interview with Iraqi television where Marty lobbies for a casino in the Green Zone, which the entire liberal blogosphere believed is real, but because this online nemesis 36 hours behind us, we were kind of sabotaged, and we sort of continued. He kept the blog, we shot a documentary, and it culminated with the Sarah Palin not knowing that Africa was a continent.
And throughout the rest of the campaign, nobody was onto you, or it took them a while to get onto you guys as being sort of...
Well, they were. As Eitan said, there was this golf blogger in Brazil who was onto us, who kept trying to out us to other blogs.
But nobody else was...
But the problem is, as you guys well know, the 24-hour news cycle is so fast that every now and again, people just wouldn't do that extra Google search. They wouldn't see that, you know, the third hit or the sixth hit on Marty Eisenstadt's name says hoax, 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 or satire, satire. And it was plausible enough. I mean, he had that plausibility of being a senior fellow at a think tank, of being a former this, a former that.
We used to joke because, I mean, the resume was very much modeled as sort of a combination of different neocon resumes. And even if somebody were to expose something specific as not being true, we'd say it's probably true of the real pundit too. I mean, the real neocons resumes, everybody's right. That's the whole point of watching it. People kind of embellish.
They all,
kind of very
they all name their own consulting company after themselves.
That would have made us even more
You mentioned Donna Brazil, the Brazil Group, or the Joe Trippi Group, or
and you create a website
and
you're out there.
And he existed on so many levels. He kept a blog. You know, he did interviews. There was a documentary about him that he came across so badly that he had to issue a series of rebuttals. So we kind of tried to. We're filmmakers, so we tried to kind of have our basics.
But now he needs an autobiography.
Absolutely.
The capstone and all of it.
Because all good pundits have to be authors. Because if you're not, you're really not a very good pundit.
Well, what's the broader point that you're trying to make? You succeeded at getting through, you know, even fooling some mainstream media organizations like MSNBC, I believe, at Los Angeles Times quoted Marty Eisenstadt as if he was a real, actual human being. Yeah. So why continue it now?
Well, we got paid to write a book.
It's the most honest answer we've ever had. I love that.
That was why we did it. No, because honestly, as filmmakers, we were trying to, this was our little side project. We were trying to get feature films made. The economy tanked. We couldn't raise funding for a film. And literally the day after we outed ourselves to the New York Times, they ran a story. We got a call from a publisher. We thought that was fake. And literally until their check cleared, we still thought it was. So.
But apart from the book, this is the end of Marty's career?
Oh,
we're trying to turn this into a TV show, which would
or
be called
a feature film.
And a feature film. I mean, it would be called The Pundit, not about a Keith Olbermann or a Glenn Beck, but about one of those guests. He lives with his mom. He's an expert on everything and nothing. He has a vanity think tank with a revolving door of interns.
He hangs out in green rooms of shows like this, runs into George Stephanopoulos, gives him a book. You know.
Do you see any good punditry out there? ABC News aside, I'll say, but do you guys ever do you see something where you're like, oh wait, that person is really smart, has insights, has worked in this business for a long time, and not a target for mocking?
Well, that's the problem, is that you never, a lot of times with these pundits, they may be great people, have smart insights, but you're never really sure who are they working for. Are they getting paid by the network? Are they getting paid by a lobbyist? And some of the networks have gotten into trouble for that. You remember the Pentagon General scandal, and as an audience, you're watching this and you don't know whose interests are being served here.
Now, if Sarah Palin runs for president, she's going to need a coterie of advisors. Is Marty going to going to sign up. But there's a complicated relationship with Sarah Palin.
It is, exactly. She's no fan of Marty. On the other hand, if it weren't for Marty, people now believe that the whole Africa thing was a hoax, that she never said the Africa thing.
Because the most vitriolic mail that we got was after the...
Was 500 death threats from her supporters. The reality is, of course she said that, and she admitted it even before we entered the scene. But
you
now
guys just took credit for it.
We just took credit for it, exactly, which is much easier. As hoaxsters, we learned it's much easier to take credit for another rumor or another anonymous leak than to actually do it yourself. So if it weren't for us, people would still genuinely believe that that she doesn't know where Africa is. So I think she owes us a debt of gratitude.
Or at least a mention in her book, because that would probably help you guys a lot,
I think
right?
we're already preparing our statements to deny whatever it is she says about us.
Or
in
doesn't
her book.
say, as the case may be. You'll issue that statement nonetheless.
And when you're in town, you've been trying to see some politicians as well. You've been on the Hill.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Joel Lieberman, one of your patron saints.
Well, if it wasn't for Joe Lieberman, Joe Lieberman got Marty his job on the McCain campaign.
Yeah.
Of course.
Joe Hebrew National Lieberman.
Here's the photo.
We saw him the other day.
Oh, you've got the photo there. Yeah, terrific. So yeah, we ran into him the other day. You were talking about the Red Dog Democrats, the moderate Democrats, and he was, bursting into a meeting with several of them, and we just happened to be there.
What was your conversation like?
Hi, I'm Marty Eisenstadt.
Well, they really were moving very quickly.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten any job offers yet through all of this. The authors.
We may have,
Yeah,
I think.
I was on a panel the other day, and there were a bunch of political consultants who were...
Real ones.
They want real ones, and you can get a real job. Marty still has a job. Dan Mervish, Eitan Gorlin, author of the new book, I Am Martin Eisenstadt. They are Martin Eisenstadt. Martin Eisenstadt doesn't exist. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for being here. Good luck with it all. It's great fun. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again next week.
It's twitter.com/thenote. In the meantime, keep the conversation going. We'll see you on Monday. This is fun, guys.